Welcome back to my channel, babes. I am very excited because I'm doing a video that I don't think I've ever done before, which is amazing for me because I have so many videos on my channel. So if you're new to my channel, my name's Eman. Welcome. Today I am doing a back to basics video. The one thing that I noticed that people always ask me or always say to me when they meet me for the first time and they find out that I'm a makeup artist is they always say, I don't know anything about makeup. I don't know how to apply makeup. You have to teach me. I always kind of wish I had a video where it was like a very simple step-by-step guide on how to apply makeup from beginning to end to create a full face, like a very back to basics. And I never had one. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to create that video. So the next time someone says that to me, I'm going to say, watch this video. This will teach you everything you need to know. So if you're new to makeup or if you just want a refresher, you're going to love this video. So make sure you hit that subscribe button if you're new to my channel. All right, babes, let's get started. I'm going to walk you guys through every single step. The first thing you want to make sure is that you've already moisturized and applied sunscreen on your face before you do anything else. The first step of the makeup process is primer. The purpose of a primer is it's basically a base on your face. And this is what's going to help your makeup last longer. It's going to make your makeup go on smoother. Primers usually kind of have this like white texture to them, and you're going to apply it pretty much all over. The type of primer that you use depends on your skin needs because there are so many different types of primers. The one that I'm using right now is an oil and shine control primer because I get very oily in my T-zone. So by applying this helps control the oil and shine throughout the day and it doesn't make my makeup look oily. But if you have more of a dry skin type, you can use something like this, which is more hydrating. So you want to use a hydrating primer. If you have really, really large pores and you want to make them look smaller, you can use a pore minimizing primer. So the point is there's lots of different primers, so you want to pick a primer that suits whatever your skin needs. It's basically that barrier between your skin and the makeup, and it prevents the makeup sinking into your pores. Because what happens when you don't wear primer, you put the makeup directly onto your face, and then within a couple of hours, it just sinks into your pores and the makeup is all gone. So primer prevents that from happening. Step 2 is foundation. Now I know that not everyone likes to wear foundation. So this is kind of a personal preference, but I'm going to give you guys the full spectrum of everything you need to do. And then you kind of pick and choose what works for you. So foundation also depends on your skin type. If you have oily skin and you like the look of really matte foundation, you can do that. Or if you prefer the look of like really dewy skin, a dewy hydrating foundation would work better. So some of these things are like things that maybe you need to play around with and figure out. But either way, foundation, the first thing you really want to try to do is color match. You're either going to be more of a yellow undertone or a pink undertone. If you're more fair skin, you're probably going to be more pink undertone. If you're more like Mediterranean, olive skin tone, you're going to have that yellow undertone to your skin. Make sure you get the right color. And a lot of times you just have to try the different foundations to see which one you like. You can get foundations that are more full coverage or more light coverage. So full coverage is going to cover everything on your skin. They're going to have more of a thicker texture. They're really going to cover all your imperfections, your beauty marks, your acne scars, anything like that. Whereas more of a light coverage foundation is going to be way more sheer. So you're not going to get that much coverage, but it's going to just even out your skin tone. So you won't have any discoloration like you see on this side. I have so much discoloration where this side it's all even. With light coverage, it's going to do that, but it might not necessarily cover everything. So the main things you're going to look for is whether you are yellow undertone or pink undertone, and then you're going to get color matched, get the right shade for you. Once you have that, then you can decide if you want which texture you want, dewy, matte, etc. And then after that, you decide if you want light coverage or medium coverage. So that's basically the steps for finding the right foundation. I recommend applying foundation with a buffing brush like this or something like this or like this. All of these are great. So I love synthetic hair buffing brushes that you just buff the product into your skin, or you could always use your beauty blender or any makeup sponge. So as you guys can see, foundation just makes your skin look perfect. Now, this is not something that everyone likes to do. I know that not everyone likes to wear foundation every day. So another option is to do a tinted moisturizer. Tinted moisturizers are super easy. It's like a moisturizer with a tint, pretty much the name. And it basically is just gonna give you like the most sheerest, lightest coverage ever, but it still just gives you a little something. So it makes your skin look a little, you know, fresher, brighter. One of my favorites is from Laura Mercier. So it's just like a tube and you literally just pump it out. Super, super easy to use. So it has a similar texture, but it's just a lot more sheer. Just apply it with your fingers. And then the third option, maybe you might like the idea of using a powder foundation. So a powder foundation is basically like a powder. It's in a compact. It's a little bit thicker than a regular powder, so it's going to give you some coverage. That's also a really great option as well. So those are the three options: foundation, tinted moisturizer, or powder foundation, to just get a beautiful base on your skin. Moving on to step 3, concealer. To pick the right shade of concealer, you're going to pick a color that's about 2 shades lighter than your foundation or your natural skin tone. And you're applying it mainly in your under eye area. Purpose of concealer is we want to brighten up this under eye area, and concealer makes a huge difference, you guys. Any of these shadows we want to get rid of. So basically anywhere where you have shadows, you're going to apply concealer. So I like taking it in the inner corner. To blend out, you can use your finger or you can use a beauty blender, whatever works for you. I like using both. I don't love blending out concealer with a brush. I feel like it just removes all the product. Whereas using your finger or your beauty blender, it kind of presses the product into your skin and just makes it look a lot more natural, a lot more blended. Concealer is also going to give you a little bit of coverage and brightness. So you guys can see this eye area immediately just looks so much brighter. You look alive. Concealer is amazing for making you look more awake. So whether you're doing just the tinted moisturizer or the foundation powder, it doesn't matter. You still want to do concealer because we all have shadows around our eye area. So getting rid of those shadows, it's going to make you look so much fresher and more awake. It is absolutely key. All blended out, skin looks beautiful, fresh. Love it. So the next step is to set all of this, because we want to make sure that this stays put all throughout the day, doesn't budge, doesn't move. So step number 4 is powder. Powders come in 2 forms. You could use a loose powder or you can use a compact powder. They're kind of the same, you guys. It's one of those things where you really just have to play and see which you prefer. So many of these things are like that. We just have so many options nowadays when it comes to beauty and makeup. So you just need to find what your preference is, what you prefer. With powder, less is more. I really, really believe that. I know that like some of the trends on YouTube are to just like bake and put all this powder on your face. I just don't think that's the best for real life. I personally prefer just using just the right amount of powder that you actually need to set your makeup. We're going to apply this powder where you basically are going to get a lot of shine, where your makeup is going to tend to break down because of oils from your skin. The powder is going to prevent that. So you're going to apply it in all the areas where you usually get a lot of oil. And if you don't have oily skin at all, like if you have combo, you still need powder. But if you have really, really dry skin, you don't need to apply powder. You can just skip it. You can definitely just skip powder altogether. So chin area, cheek area, forehead, bridge of the nose, around the nose, all of these areas. Under eye, if you get really oily and tend to crease, I don't, so I usually skip it. But that's it. Apply powder. Now our face is like locked in. It's not gonna budge. This is going to last all day. Whether you're going to work, going to school, well, I feel like we're not going anywhere nowadays, but but whatever you're doing, this is going to be locked in, it's not going anywhere. And now it's time to move on to step number 5, blush and bronzer. So now that we have created this flawless canvas, this flawless face, we want to start adding color back into the face. And the reason that I made blush and bronzer in one step is because I know not everyone loves bronzer, so I kind of wanted to pair them up. So if you love bronzer, go for it. But if you don't, you don't have to. I personally love bronzer, so I would never not apply it. Even when I'm super tan, I still apply bronzer. I think bronzer just gives such a beautiful glow to the skin, and it looks good on everyone. And who doesn't want a glow to your skin? And bronzer is just kind of like an instant pick-me-up. So it's going to add that beautiful bronzy glow. The way to apply it is, it's an old trick that I'm sure you guys have heard before. You start from your forehead and you go along your cheekbone and then along your jawline, and you're creating this shape of the number 3. So it's like just like that. It's a really simple guide on how to apply bronzer. With bronzer, you want to use like a nice big fluffy brush. Any of these shapes are great for bronzers. These all work. Blush is literally my favorite thing ever, you guys. Blush and concealer. Blush is like, again, an instant pick me up, wake me up for your face. It just brightens and just like makes you look alive. So you want to apply blush always. That's my recommendation. Don't leave the house without blush. And for blush, you want to just concentrate on the apples of your cheeks and then blend back towards the top of your ears. And you can just smile, and that usually just helps you know exactly where to put it. If you ever feel like you've applied way too much blush, one of the easiest ways to solve that is to take a clean brush or even your powder brush and just really gently blend out just the edges. That'll soften the blush. And then when it comes to colors, you can go for a pink, you can go for a peach, you can go for a rose. It depends on your skin tone. It depends on what mood you're in. It really depends on so many things. It's definitely a personal preference. So play around, see what you like. But I will tell you, blush is a game changer. I just love it. It just brightens and brings color to your face and just like makes you look more awake. I like to pop a little bit on my nose as well. Okay, we're all rosy and bronzy. I love it. Step 6, eyebrows. Eyebrows are tricky. Eyebrows are tricky, you guys, because everyone's eyebrows are different. Some people have super full brows. Some people have no brows at all. So it's one of those things that it really depends on what is going on with your brows. But I will give you some basic guidelines. You want to have an eyebrow brush, which has a spoolie on one end and like an angled tapered brush on the other end. This is the main tool that you need brush-wise for your eyebrows. It's gonna help you brush up the hairs, see what you're working with. And then the other side helps you fill in with brow powder for any areas that need filling in. If you have super full brows, sometimes just a little bit of brow gel is all you need. If your brows need a little bit more help, you can use a brow powder, you can use a brow pencil. Really, these things are all personal preference. You kind of just need to play and see what works with you. Fill in where you need to make them look as complete as possible. Don't skip your brows. And a very simple guide is you want your brows to start from the side of your nose and end on the outer corner of your eye. If your shape is not that full, then you need to fill in to make it complete. I know that was like really quick for brows. If you guys want really specific videos on how to fill in your eyebrows, I will list them for you in the description box because that's a whole other video in itself. Either way, don't skip your brows. That's my tip. Moving on to step number 7. Eyelashes. So I'm not going to show you guys an eyeshadow look today because if you want to see eyeshadow looks, that's basically my entire channel is all eyeshadow looks. So there are hundreds of them that you can check out, every different style look you can imagine. Today, this is again just a makeup for beginners. So very simple. The one thing that I definitely always recommend for every day is curling your lashes and adding mascara. That's an instant wake me up for your eyes. It's very minimal effort and it's super easy to do. The reason I say curl your lashes because it makes such a difference. I'm going to show you guys a side by side. When your lashes are curled and when your lashes are not curled, it instantly just like does something to your eyes. So I definitely recommend curling your lashes. You want to get an eyelash curler that has like a tight grip to it because that's what's going to make your lashes hold that curl. And then for mascara, you want to use a mascara that's going to be volumizing, black and lengthening. But again, mascaras, there's a million of them out there, so find one that you like. With a little bit of mascara, this one that I'm using is from xoxo. It's honestly one of my favorites. And curling your lashes, look at that difference. For every day, like that's all you really need to do to instantly take your eyes from drab to fab. Oh my God, I had to. And I know that sometimes people are like, oh, I don't want to put mascara on. Put mascara on. It makes a big difference. Next step, highlighter. Highlighter is gonna give that just like little final touch to your skin. You don't have to do this, but I really love it. I think it just looks so pretty. And I personally love using a powder highlighter. I find it just so much easier for every day. And I like using something that matches the skin tone. So this is like a really beautiful golden shade. This is gonna go really well with my skin tone. If you're more fair, you can use a lighter highlighter. If you're darker, you're gonna use a darker highlighter. And they're just key areas where you're gonna apply highlighter. I love popping it right in the inner corner. Gives like a little pop to the eyes. I like doing it down the bridge of my nose because it makes my nose look thinner, which I really love. And then on top of my cheekbone, this just looks really beautiful on the skin, around the eyebrows. This gives the skin such a healthy, fresh, luminescent glow. So beautiful. You don't have to do this step, especially not for every day, but if you have time, pop a little highlighter and I promise you it'll make you feel better. And then the last step, step number 9, I wish there was 10 steps because that would have made it a lot better, but there's only 9. So the last step, step number 9 is the lips. And this is again, personal preference, you guys. You can do a lip gloss, you can do a lip balm, a lipstick, whatever you want, but I really recommend putting something on your lips that's gonna complete the whole look. There's so many amazing options out there nowadays. Some people love gloss, some people hate gloss, some people love lipstick, some people hate lipstick. So again, try out different things to see what you personally like. I love this one from Too Faced. This one's amazing. This is the Lip Injection Lip Gloss, and the shade is Glossy Bossy. I love this, you guys. That is it. That is how to create a full face, step by step, from beginning to end. I hopefully explained everything for you guys. If I missed anything, please leave it for me in the comments. I will try my best to answer it. I hope this gives you guys the confidence to create a full face. And once you know how to do this and you're ready to like take it to the next level, then you can look at all the millions of other tutorials that I have on my channel, because they are also full of instructions, but they don't go like back to the basics like this. Last thing I want to say, if you want to use a setting spray, there we go. That'll be step number 10. If you want to use a setting spray, this would be the time to use it. So once all your makeup is completely done, there are a lot of really great setting sprays out there. So basically you spray it at the end of your makeup and it just holds everything together and it just really makes your makeup last. So if you do your makeup in the morning, it's gonna last you 8-10 hours. It's gonna last you all day. You don't have to touch up that much. So setting spray really helps for that. And the key for this is you wanna kind of keep, let me see if I can do this. You wanna keep your arm, I gotta stay close to the microphone. You wanna keep your arm as far as possible because you don't want the spray to just like leave big splatters. So you wanna keep your arm as far as possible and just spray really gently. That is it, you guys. That is my full step-by-step guide how to create a makeup look from beginning to end. I really hope you guys enjoyed this. Leave me your questions. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. If you're new to my channel, welcome. My name is Eman. And add me on Instagram, at Eman, on TikTok, at Eman Makeup. And let me know what other videos you guys want to see in the comments. And I will see you guys next week with a brand new video. Bye, babes.